Alright guys, today's video we're going to be putting a transmission mount in the old 2500 GMC here, and this is your factory mount. What it looks like, a pretty weak piece of crap. This is the new energy polyurethane mount we're going to install. The part number right here. So first thing you're going to have to do is get a jack, put a little pressure on the back side of your transfer case, and you're going to need a 15 mil, a 19 mil, and you're also going to need an extension, possibly a swivel, and that'll get your old mount out. You actually have to remove the cross member. Make this so it's floating, so you can move it to get your old mount out and your new mount in. Pretty straightforward, not too many bolts. 19's on the frame, 15's on your mount. So the new mount here, if you're looking at these kits on eBay and scratching your head wondering what this piece is, because I sort of was, if we break down here and do the unmanly thing and read the directions, you'll see in that picture that that plate is actually required to lay right there like this. So this is not an extra piece. This has to be installed for it to work properly. So that goes like that. The other thing you'll notice is there's 3 holes in this. You do not use the middle hole. I'm guessing it's there possibly, maybe if you wanted to add a 3rd bolt to it you could, but it's not used on a factory normal model truck that hasn't been modified. So the new hardware, just the 2 bolts, is for the outsides. Obviously be careful not to cross thread them when you start them. And for the outside bolts, you just use the bolts that you take out of your transmission, the 2 15 mils. So that being said, we're gonna crawl underneath there, slap this thing back in, and I imagine this is gonna take all the little bit of twisting and turning that's left in my truck out of it. So this is a great little upgrade for like 80 bucks. Highly recommend it. So guys, the very first step going back together is obviously your 2 bolts here. Get that set in place. The next step is we're going to bring our cross member back to where it needs to go. And when we fasten all these 19 mils, myself, I'm going to leave everything loose for the start until I get these here 2 new hardware bolts fastened in. And once everything's fastened loose, then I'll tighten it all, but I'm not going to tighten this cross member in case I had to wiggle it to get these bolts started. So just a tidbit of information for you there, and we'll see you when we get this cross member in. Okay guys, so just another little tidbit. When you take this apart, you put a little bit of pressure on your jack at the start until you get your transmission mount bolts out. Once you get your transmission mount bolts out, it's a good idea to pump that jack up a few more cranks, because what'll happen is you'll find you won't be able to move that cross member out of your way. So after you get the mounts out, jack your transmission up a little bit higher than normal. I actually put my jack on the transfer case, as you've seen. So what we have now is the cross member's in, the bolts are in, but I can still wiggle it. And now we're to the point we have to let the transmission back down because it's too far of a gap between the cross member and the mount where we did the extra jacking to move the cross member. So we're going to come out and just let this jack down a little bit. Nice and easy. Maybe. There she goes. And now I'll get under and I'll get my bolt started and get her done. Alright guys, I won't lie. A little bit of it hassle to get it lined up. Not really too bad, but it looks good sitting in there. Nice fancy shiny new transmission mount. You can already tell there's a shitload of pressure onto it on the one side already, just from the weight of the Allison and the 8.1. I think this will be a lot better than the stock one that we took out. And all you should have left when you're done is these two nuts that were originally right there. So that's the Energy Suspension Aftermarket transmission mount install on the 2500 GMC. Well guys, the mount's in, everything's good. Just hauled some rock with the trailer actually, so you will notice some driveline vibration. That's totally normal with a solid mount. I also have my motor mounts that they're basically solid. If you watch the video where I drill them and put a bolt through them and draw them up tight once they're installed in place. But yeah, this is a great upgrade for these trucks. I wouldn't even waste money buying a stock mount with that on the market. So anyway, that's how you do her, guys.